Good morning, everyone. How do we change? How do we become better? Something that we all are looking for, the magic pill. Well, the Torah in this week's Parsha, when it introduces the daughters of Slavchad, says a very interesting wording. It says, "V'ta'amodna lifnei Moshe." They stood up in front of Moshe. Commentaries ask, okay, it makes sense, but why does it have to say it that way? Other times in the Torah, when it introduces a storyline, it doesn't use that word. It says, "V'tamarno," they ask, they said. What does it mean by "ta'amodna"? They stood up. And the commentaries tell us something very important, that the daughters of Slavchad had to take that initial step forward to stand up and go ahead and ask for any change to ever happen. If they wouldn't have stood up, if they wouldn't have asked, if they wouldn't have taken that first step forward, we would never know about the daughters of Slavchad. God might have introduced this law through a different way. Rashi actually says that God really wanted to introduce this law straight to Moshe, but since the daughters of Slavchad initiated, in their merit, it was this whole parsha, this whole law was set on their name. This greatness, history, we know them for eternity in the Torah. It's because they took that first step forward. Ta'amodna, they stood up. And that's an important lesson for all of us. We want to change. We want to grow. We got to take that first step forward. We have to be willing to get out of our comfort zone. We have to be willing to stand up and say, hey, am I doing right or wrong? They asked the question. They didn't make a statement. They asked, what should we do? But they stood up and asked. They reflected internally and say, hey, what's going on? Are we on the right track? Are we doing right? And there goes the glasses. Mwah. And that's something that we all have to do also. We have to stand up and ask ourselves, are we going the right direction? Are we doing what God wants us to do? And especially during these difficult times, there's no greater time to ask questions. So wishing everyone a beautiful day, and let's reflect internally and say, hey, are we standing up? Are we asking those questions? And if we're not, let's do that, because that's the only way that we're going to create change within ourselves, within our family, within our community. Wishing everyone a beautiful day.